Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Between Two Erics. I am Eric Miller, the god of thunder, Zeus of personal finance.
And I'm Eric Gersh, financial advisor.
Just a financial advisor.
Just a financial advisor.
Okay, so this is where we spend some time talking about topics that relate to practice owners and their finance and their business, and we try to impart our wisdom on you from things that we see every single day.
Every day.
So today we're going to talk about practice expansion.
Yes.
So, one of the things that we really try to influence our practice owners to do is to not stay the course, not think that they can just kind of stay, hey, I'm just going to do the same amount of revenue every single year. I don't want to grow. I don't want to expand. I don't want to take on that. And it's like, you just can't do that. You're either going up or you're going down.
Yep.
So, but there also is some things that you have to realize when you expand, otherwise you run into some big problems.
Yes, yeah, there's definitely some prerequisites.
There are some prerequisites. That's a big word. Nice.
Yeah, prerequisites.
Yeah, you got a big brain.
I'm struggling there.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna go over just like a couple things that we think practice owners should have in place or be cognizant of prior to expansion, right?
Yep.
Because the reason is that we know that when you make the decision to expand, what's going to happen?
There's gonna be problems.
There's always going to be problems. There's going to be more money, more problems.
Life does not stop.
Nope, it doesn't. And there's going to be stuff that's going to happen to them. Like, what are some things that you've seen?
Manager quits, get hit by a tornado, floods, you name it. We've probably seen it.
Yeah, every time. Every time someone says, I'm going to do this, that's going to take me to the next level, first thing that happens is just
resistance.
Just resistance, yep. Right? Don't fight it. It's going to happen. But there are some things that you want to make sure you have in place prior to that,
yep.
Right? So you can weather the storm because it's going to come.
Exactly.
Right? So we're going to give you a couple things that we think are going to help. So the first thing I would look at if I make a decision to expand. Now, when we're talking about expand, we're talking about maybe buying a second practice,
satellite clinic,
a building,
yep.
Buying a building,
or adding on,
like a build out. So anything that you're going to do that's going to expand the ability of the practice to produce, okay. Right? So the first thing that I would look at is my current practice operating at capacity?
What do you mean by that?
So look, if I have a building that's 10,000 square feet,
okay,
and I'm only using 4,000 square feet of it.
Yeah, that's not capacity.
That's not capacity,
no.
Right? Or if I have room for 4 doctors and I only have 2,
yeah.
Right? Then I'm not at capacity, right? I wouldn't think about doing something that was going to entail expansion until I get that thing to capacity.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
That's logical.
So, look, when I say operating at maximum capacity, you should have, your doctors should be producing pretty well. Your staff should be, you should be fully staffed, right? And your revenue should be, I don't know, it should be pretty high when it comes to the capacity to deliver in your current space.
So basically you want people to feel okay, there's not much more I can squeeze in here.
Yeah.
On my average week, I am pretty much booked out and I'm doing as much business as I can do with the space that I have.
That's exactly right. Because what's going to happen if you're not at capacity?
Well, you're spending money that you probably don't need to.
Exactly.
You need to fill up what you have first before you add on to it.
Yeah. So there's a reason why you're not at capacity, right? There's something that you're not doing right. That maybe you're just growing into it, right?
Yeah.
But until you get to that capacity, it's look, if you try to expand when you haven't reached that capacity, you're just going to be dumping all the problems into another space that you have in your current space. You know?
Agree.
So that would be the first thing, is that you're operating at capacity. What's number 2?
Business reserves, everybody's favorite. So there's 2 parts to this. Number 1, most basic business savings, right? You should have preferably 90, but at least 60 days worth of business expenses, payroll, light bill, health insurance, whatever your average, operating costs. And then over and above that, you should also be already taking out 10% of the business gross and transferring it to a personal account where it flows into your wealth building plan.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that someone should have 2 months of reserves just sitting in the business?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's not working for you. Like it's just sitting there, right?
How did those people who didn't have any money sitting there feel back in March? Cash is trash until you need it. Don't ever let anybody tell you that. If you don't have reserves, you are operating in a very dangerous type of situation.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. If you can't tolerate having like 2 months of business reserves of cash just sitting there, you ain't making enough money.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone should be able to sit there and say, oh, I got $200,000 sitting in my account, right? And they're always worried about their money working for them, That's just like, it's kind of almost frantic.
Well, if
You
you're
know?
pulling 10% off the top, you already are having the vast majority of your money working for you. So having, 100 to 200,000 in cash off to the side, it's not going to hurt you.
Nope.
It's not going to hurt you.
Nope. And it's there for the protection of the business.
Yes.
And for most people, that is their wealth engine. Their build. That is the thing that's going to build their wealth.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to make sure that thing can operate. And if you don't have reserves, and we encounter some kind of an event where you shut down, the business can shut down. So
If you don't have reserves, now you're going out, you're borrowing money from someone, you're paying them interest.
yep, just puts you in a dangerous
It's just
position.
costing you more.
100%. Okay, good. So the last one then, which is one that I see people neglect, I think the most, is making sure that you are keeping all of your legal and compliance, that area in good shape. Now, why is that? Because when you decide that you're going to expand, you're very likely going to get attacked by somebody or something at some point in time. It may not happen right after that, but you can bet that if you're going to be seeing more patients and you're going to be hiring more people, there's a good chance that you're going to get some kind of an attack on you, either from an employee
At some
or from a
point down the
patient,
road.
right?
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is that a lot of these practice owners kind of neglect this area. They don't keep their corporate documents up to date. They don't
No.
keep their liability insurance up to date. They don't have their personal assets protected like they should,
Yep.
right? If a regulatory body, an insurance provider comes in there, they didn't keep good records, right? So they can ask them for, hey, you owe us $200,000 or $300,000 because you've been overbilling or overcharging for something like that.
Happens every year.
It happens at least
Every year.
twice a year where we get someone that says, oh, by the way, I owe $200,000 to Medicare because I didn't bill correctly,
Yep.
right? So if you're going to expand, actually, regardless of what you're doing, make sure you keep your legal and your compliance in good order all the time.
Yes.
Right? Because that's the first area that that's trying to take advantage of you, that's where they're going to attack you, right? Because you've been weak in that area. So, you can hire companies that can audit your books, accounting companies. There's all kinds of things you can do, but just pay attention to the area because it's a really key area.
Yep, and it's easy to overlook. You're busy treating all day. You're busy hiring, training, doing 900 other things. So it's easy to put off these corporate documents that you keep over in a folder somewhere in your office or at home. But like Eric said, it is essential.
Essential. That was good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to know more, we actually have a practice expansion checklist. And I think there's probably 3 or more items that you desperately need to make sure that you have in place before you decide to expand. Look, expanding is a good thing. It's the best thing that we want you to do. You're never going to get to your net worth level. You're never going to get to the point where you would consider yourself financially free if you don't really put your attention on expanding your practice. You just want to make sure that you do it correctly.
Yep.
And I think that we gave you a good start on this.
Yep.
Yeah? Good. Nice, man. All right, that's Between Two Erics. If you need more information, go to www.econologicsfinancialadvisors.com and you can download the practice expansion checklist. And you know what? We have a whole lot more as well, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, good.